Hey Bearcats! As you've probably recently heard, the IB exams have been cancelled for this year. So for today's video, we're going to be interviewing some of our seniors and IB teachers to see what they think about this, how this has affected their classes, and some of their predictions for next year. So, is it okay if you introduce yourselves first?
I teach.
Okay, I'll start. Hello, I'm Miss Hunt. I teach grade 10 English and then grade 12 SL and HL Lang and Lit.
I teach Filipino language, Philippine history, global issues, all those stuff.
Hi, I'm Okin. I'm currently in 12th grade and doing the SL Lang and Lit course.
Hello, I'm Martina and I take IB Filipino Literature SL.
So today we're going to talk about the IB exam cancellation, since you probably know they've been cancelled. So I'll just ask you a few questions about what your thoughts are on it. So let's get started. The first question is, how do you feel about the IB exams being cancelled?
It's really hard learning IB for one whole year virtually. So I'm pretty relieved that we don't have to be tested on it through an exam. But we still have ISM exams, so there's still some work to do.
I do know though of some classmates who maybe they wanted to lift their grades up and the exam would have helped that. So of course, for some people, it's not as good.
I think that overall, it will mostly positively impact ISM students. I think that in the sense of, how do I want to say this? I think having exams would have been not only an additional stressor, but because you haven't had the opportunity to prepare for exams in the way previous years students have, it would have been quite difficult.
So, how did this change anything for your class this year?
I'll start with this one because from a curriculum standpoint, even in a course like English, which is mainly a skill-based course, and to be honest, you can take some of the papers even as early as junior year. What it's done is allowed us to spend more time on some topic areas as opposed to having to rush through materials. So that's been quite nice.
I do agree in that, and I also think that the additional bonus was that because of the exams being canceled, in a sense, what we were learning in class was less focused on how to perfect it in exam conditions, but more about learning the skills that Lang and Lit at its core is trying to achieve. And so overall, I think it's been a positive.
At least in Filipino class, we practically are doing the same, no? With all these practice exams, because even if there is no actual IB exams, they still have to go through these exams so that they would know the skills in taking the paper 1 and paper 2 exams.
So for Martina, were you fully prepared to take the IB exams this year?
I don't think so, no. There's a lot of content that I learned online that would have been really hard to do an exam on, whether online or in person.
I think if the exams would have happened, I would not have been prepared. We just haven't been able to focus on that exam aspect as much in our courses, which is a good thing, I think.
Do you guys have any predictions for what's going to happen next year in terms of IB exams and IB in general?
No.
I feel like they will probably happen next year, especially since they didn't happen last year and this year. Even if they can't do it in person, I feel like they should have had enough time to figure out how to do it online.
Sometimes we can't predict what's going to be available. We don't know if we can come back into school and take exams. We don't know necessarily how the IB is going to roll things out to us. So I think that the biggest takeaway is kind of just learning how to deal with that uncertainty and learning how to recognize what value you have in your coursework outside of the numbers of the exams. I think that's an interesting perspective to carry into the next years.
So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. We hope you enjoyed and learned a little something, and we'll see you next week on BTV. Bye!